Hello, hello. Intention Day. I'm just putting my title in my comments. Yes, good morning, good morning. Well, good afternoon, good afternoon. I am live on like 4 channels. Stacy, just have to do it all the way loud and proud, right? Hi guys, I hope that everyone can hear me. If you are on YouTube, you should just drop a note in the comments that you can hear me. If you are on IG, you can give me a wave. Good morning. Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon. It is January 2nd and it is Intention Day 2023. Now, for those of you that have been following me for a while, you'll know that this is actually my 4th year. This is year 4 of doing Intention Day. And so I'm really excited. I'm actually really psyched about the fact that we're still showing up for this. And to actually be quite frank, I was inspired by one of my followers who checked in, and it's interesting because you don't always hear from all the followers, right? Sometimes they'll just be following and watching what you're doing and buying your stuff, but they don't necessarily reach out. And I was on the fence about Intention Day. I was like, should we keep doing Intention Day, or should I just, plan something that's gonna be big and make like a big event kind of deal as opposed to doing Intention Day? And I was checking my DMs, and le voila. I have my one of my followers that just checked in, and she was like, "Happy New Year! Hey, are you doing your annual reset and intention setting for?" And I was like, "Yes, I am." I said, "If it's just for one person, we're going to do it this year, right?" So, welcome, guys. Welcome to Intention Day 2023. This is one of those years I feel is going to be a game changer for many of us, because so many of us have been, I won't call it asleep, but it's almost like we've been crawling out of our pandemic shell a little at a time. You don't want to make too big of a commitment. You don't want to push for the goals like right away, because so much has been happening that's felt really challenging, that's felt really negative in many instances. And so now what you want to do is you want to maybe be tentative with how you approach, stepping into the fullness of who you are for the year ahead. Now, the power of intentions is that it gives you such a level of clarity and purposefulness to your life that even when things are falling apart, even when the world is popping down, right, you will literally feel like you have something to show up for, and that something could just be yourself. Okay, when other things in your life, when the challenges of everyday growth are happening, you have your intention there acting as your anchor to getting you going and making sure that you are feeling like, yeah, I can get up and I can try another day. And so Intention Day is really special to me. It has a special place in my heart because it's a reminder of how powerful it is for you as an individual to set an intention and to help it to light your path, especially in those darker moments. All right. Now, this year in particular, I'm making sure that you guys stick to your intention setting by topping it up, a leveling up Intention Day this year. Normally, I will have a guest sometimes. Last year, I had Cynthia Shea Clark on, and it was a lot of fun having Cyn on. This year, we're going to be focusing on success, because a lot of persons have really felt like they need to bring another level of themselves so that they can be more successful in life for this year and going forward. And I think a large part of that is because, as I was saying earlier, a lot of people put that, a lot of their goals and their dreams and big visions, they put them on hold because it was just feeling like pandemic, depression, war, and all these things. So even though now you have inflation and recession, there is still a war going on. You have lots of different challenges that we're experiencing externally. I think that people are now warming up to wanting to step back into, I want to be successful, and I want to figure out what are the tools that are going to help me to accelerate that success. It's almost like you want to reclaim your time. Okay. And this is the way that you're going to do it. You're going to do it by setting up intentions for yourself so that you can reclaim 2020, 2021, and even for some of you, 2022, when it was just finding back your bearings. It's like your feet were just getting steady. Okay, so let's say hello to who's out there. I have on LinkedIn, I have Keisha. Hi, Keish. Great. She's so ready for Intention Day. Yes, I'm so glad that you are here. I have a hi from Mrs. Dishman online. Hi, Carrie. And then I also have Miss Denise there. Wishes for a blessed 2023. Thank you so much. I receive all of the blessings. I will take all of the blessings. Okay, all of them. I also have Samantha. Hi, Samantha. Welcome. Thank you so much for this, Stacy. Yes, a great foundation. And that's what we're doing, right, guys? We're not just setting a foundation like cement. Because, sometimes you talk about setting a foundation and it's a foundation that you're going to build into, that chief cornerstone, right? You're building into that, right? Hi, Novia. Good morning. This is the kind of bounce back foundation, right? It's almost like you're setting down cement, but you're putting some trampolines on top of it. So you can use it as leverage to move towards that life, that person, that vision that you are creating. And that's what being intentional about your goal setting is going to do for you. And in particular, this year, I'm all about success. I'm all about building wealth and really focusing on stretching myself in new ways, seeing how I can impact others and seeing how I can really step into that purpose, that higher self purpose, right? So this year we're leveling up by not just talking about success, but by making sure that you are sticking to your plan. So I actually created an ebook, a success ebook and planner, and it's a success without stress because, so we're not in the stress business. Okay. So I created a success without the stress ebook for all of you to utilize after we finish this, because we're going to have a short conversation today. Clearly, it would have to be like a half a day for me to take you through an entire goal setting process. So what we're doing is Cliff Notes in this conversation, and then you will now have access to this workbook that you can use beyond this conversation. So for those of you who are going to be on LinkedIn and YouTube, I'll be dropping it in the comments. And for those of you who are on IG, the link for it is already in my link tree. So when you go to the link in my bio, you click it, there is already something there that says download 2023 Success Planner. All right. So I got y'all. I got you. Okay. We're in this together. We're going to do the things, right? Okay. So first and foremost, the reason why this is called Intention Day is because I believe that everything begins with intention. Your intention is the why behind your why. It is the reason you are experiencing life the way you're experiencing it. Now, for some persons, you may have challenging situations going on. I know I've been there. I got challenges, all kinds of challenges that I deal with on a regular basis, right? The thing that has shifted for me because of intention is how I process and manage those challenges, right? And what I've also observed is that the challenges may come, but somehow I am moving beyond the challenges at a faster pace than I was before. The suffering has decreased, right? It's like they say, maybe they meaning Stacy, change is inevitable, right? But suffering is optional. Now, I'm still learning how to manage that about myself because sometimes it seems like I like the suffering. Sometimes it seems like I like to be complaining and whining and down in the downward spiral and, oh my gosh, I can't manage and things not going right. And, sometimes I just seem to like to sit in it and wallow in it. And then the majority of the times now, instead, I am leaning. What was the intention, Stacey? What are we trying to create here? What is going on in your head? Right? Because what you're doing is you're focusing on the thing that you don't want, which ultimately becomes what you create because you're not focusing on the thing that you do want, which is why I have to bounce back to intention. So everything begins with intention. It is the why behind your why. It is the reason why you are experiencing the results that you have in your life. So let's look at your life as an example, right? If it is that you are desirous of a love relationship, I know I usually have a lot of women on here. So if it is that you're desirous of a love relationship, and the experience that you're having in that space is not reflective of what you desire, then it means that your intention is not aligned with what you desire. What you're experiencing is what you're intending. Okay? Second example, if it is that you desire great success, maybe you are birthing a business, maybe you're launching, something new and amazing, right? And it is your desire for this business to be like your number one experience, your number one focus, the number one thing that's bringing in your money. Okay. But you realize that you can't let go of the night. It's like the 9 to 5, just have it. You just can't. There's just something, I like that paycheck. I got to get that paycheck coming in. Right. And you're at work, but you complain bitterly about being at work. You're not happy about working. I don't want to work for the man or the woman, whatever it is. I don't want to clock in and clock out. I don't want anybody to tell me when to take vacation. But somehow you're still there. So guess what? Your intention is not to be living and thriving from your business. Your intention is to have the security of a paycheck. Now, you may desire to have the business, but your intention is not the business. Now, this example is a very good one because I have been there. That was me for many years. Like, I've had so many businesses on the side, but there was something about that monthly, bi-weekly, whenever it was coming in, you just kind of know that it's going to land. You can kind of expect to see the dollars, the zeros and the dot and the OO and whatever in the bank account. And if it's not landing there, you can pick up the phone and call accountant and be like, excuse me, did payroll run, right? So you kind of get into that mindset. And I had the business. Oh, yes, I want to do my business. And I'd launch a thing here and I'd launch a thing there. But let me tell you something. You see, when I decided that my intention was expansion, which was last year, and I was going to expand into the fullness of who I am and really step fully into all the opportunities I wanted to create, including my business, right? Then guess what happened? Business not launch proper. I took a sabbatical from the 9 to 5, like literally 4 months. I negotiated a sabbatical, took it off, right? To focus 100% on this vision that I wanted to birth. Now, for some persons, you may feel like, oh, you good, Stacey, I could never take a sabbatical. Why? When you set that intention, everything else, when you focus on it and you think about it and you dream about it and you're just in this space of almost obsession about experiencing the thing you want, is like things just start to line up. Okay? The conversations about my sabbatical came with such ease. All of the anxiety and the worry I had about it from before, it was for naught. I had multiple discussions and they were pleasant, and even now as I shift more fully into being an entrepreneur, that shift is not giving me the same kind of angst when I was doing it 3-4 years ago, when I was trying to do it 3-4 years ago, because I had not aligned my intention with my desire. Okay? So I hope those examples were good ones and really, really checking you into why you need to begin with an intention. So of course, I could not talk about intention setting without the cards. Hello. If you don't yet have your set of intention cards, there's going to be links provided for you in the comments, and also inside of on IG in the link tree, there's a link for you to get cards. Now, if you know anything about how I actually sell the cards, they're on Amazon, but if you purchase them through my landing page that I have linked to you, then you can get access to a mini course that I actually have available for you to learn how to use the power of intention. All right. So I'm here, I'm shuffling my cards, and as I shuffle, one of the things that I wanted to kind of touch on, guys, is when you're setting your intentions, you don't really want to just be frivolous with the intention setting. You know, you don't want to just choose something out of the air, or because you see, you know, Miss Jones has, you know, a nice new Mercedes. It's like, yeah, I want a Mercedes too. Like, you know, you want to be, you want to be thinking about how you're setting up your intentions, right? And what your intentions will help you to do is it will help you to guide the actual goal setting process. Now, one of the intentions that I've been seeing, or one of the trends, I should say, I've been seeing every year are people, you know, that come up with their word for the year. And for many persons, they use that as their intention. You know, my word for the year is expansion, or my word for the year is leveling up, or, you know, connectedness, or limitless, or, you know, they're all, you know, better. I saw one today that said better. I was like, oh, that sounds so delicious. Right. And sometimes we'll choose these words, and they're very powerful words. They feel like they inspire you. You know, it's like, yes, this is the word I'm using, etc. And sometimes we choose the words without really prescribing a meaning or a why to the word. Yeah. And again, it's almost like you kind of need an intention for the word that you put in to say that is the intention. I specifically, I like phrases, because I think that your phrase actually gives clarity. And the truth is that one of the big, I think I said this earlier, that one of the big things about intention setting is the clarity that it provides, right? And so as you're setting your intentions, you know, you can use your intention cards to help you. Like if you can't think of anything that you want to proclaim for the year, you know, use the cards, right? And so I'm going to pull a card. Oh, this one is good. I'm going to pull a card, and it says, I am well intentioned. There's 52 cards in the deck, right? And of course, I pull the one about intention. And the affirmation at the bottom says, I place my focus and attention on thoughts that drive my purpose and serve the full expression of my highest self. All right. So you can use intention cards to actually help you. This will be our intention for our session today. Earlier, when I was recording an episode for my podcast, I actually pulled the card, I am limitless. I wish I could find it now. But I am limitless is an intention card that I love, because it just makes you feel like you can conquer the world, right? And the affirmation, I'm going to try to remember it offhand. The affirmation is, my mind is a fertile playground of new ideas and limitless possibilities. Ooh, I know, I think there's one more piece missing in that, but that's the general gist of it, right? And I think that if you are going to choose a word, what's your one word intention? If you're going to choose a one word intention, you need to write the meaning down behind it. Don't just fall into the trend where, oh, I have a word for the year. Okay? You know how I feel about trends. I like to go against the trend, right? Write down a word, okay, but make sure you know what it means. Come up with an affirmation that you can use on a daily basis to actually, propel you towards fulfilling that intention. One of the ways that I realize I've been choosing my intentions as I've become more self-connected, more connected to my higher self, is I've actually been looking at the places in my life where I feel like there is a gap. All right. And what that means is, if I'm struggling with something, or if I find myself suffering, like I'm putting myself through suffering about thoughts or ideas that I may have, then I'll ask myself, what is my intention? What am I serving? And sometimes I can't find anything, and there's an opening there. There's a space for me to set an intention, so I have a direction to address the challenges that I'm experiencing in my life. When I was setting my intention for 2023, I decided to choose one pretty early on. I mean, like out the gate, it was like October, November. I think I have my intention for 2023. And my intention was really about wealthy expansion. Now, it just, even just repeating it, it just sounds vain to me. It just doesn't sound like it was coming from my highest self. It sounds more like it was coming from, the things I have that I want to make sure that I'm achieving, like I can pay my bills and take care of the kids and travel and do all these things, right? And so it's, okay, let's make sure we put a wealth intention down, right? And my affirmation that I've been sharing, if you listen to my podcast, The Balanced Lady Boss Show, the affirmation that I've been sharing as my core affirmation, this is when you talk about that concrete with the trampoline, them. This is one of those affirmations that is literally like a trampoline down there. So giving you that bounce, that leverage, right? So my affirmation for 2023 that I'm sharing with you guys, feel free to adopt it, is I expand in abundance, success, and love every day and inspire those around me to do the same. I'm going to repeat that. I expand in abundance, success, and love every day and inspire those around me to do the same. So I was loving up this affirmation, like, yeah, all right. So that means that is wealthy expansion, and that's going to be the intention for the year and all of the things. Well, fast forward to Stacy setting out her goals last week. I went up to Blue Mountains with my spiritual love partner, and we spent a few days just working through what we wanted to create for 2023. And by the time I come off of the mountain, I realized that, boy, I have so many things going on in my head that making me feel like I don't know if I can do this. There's so many things. It's like I'm looking at all of my goals and I'm like, no, man, these priorities that I've set for myself, they feel a little bit like, I don't know if I can do it. Can I really be this business person that's successful? And can I really, build houses and create all these amazing things that I want to create for myself and my family? And one of the things that I found myself doing was trying to figure out the how. Like I kept trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to do it. If I can't, I don't even want to lean into trusting and knowing that it's all available to me. No, I'm not leaning into no trust. Me want to know exactly how I go and get to $1 million net worth US by the end of 2023. Like I want to know the exact steps, right? And the truth is, guys, that what I realized about myself was that I was too dependent on my personality and not leaning into my soul self, my highest self, and allowing things to unfold without knowing necessarily the how, right? And so when I realized that that was a gap, because let me tell you how I know I have a gap with intention and a gap with my highest self and connecting to who I am becoming. When I'm stressing myself out about achieving something or doing so, it could be something really simple. And I just my mind is just going a million miles an hour. It's just bare noise, right? Just bare noise going on in the head. The thoughts are rampant. I cannot quiet them. It keeps me up at night. I will fall asleep. I'm one of those that might fall asleep, but then I'm going to wake up at like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. and can't go back to sleep, right? And so what ends up happening is I see myself in the suffering. I'm complaining. I'm just miserable. My kids ask me, what's going on? Like, why are you so miserable? Right? And so I'm observing all of these things about myself. And so I know that I have created some suffering. So when you see yourself in that kind of downward spiral and you realize that everything that's coming out of your mouth is I can't and I don't know and I'm not sure, and it means that you're not allowing something to come through. Sometimes it's nothing that's going to come through, which means do nothing. But Stacy's a high performer, so she like to get up and do and make happen. Like, we will fit that square peg into that round hole if you need it by a certain deadline. Like, we're going to make it happen, right? And so that personality, when she meets up on this person I'm becoming, my soul person, my purposeful person, my intended person, the person that's behind the intention, the person that's seeking to emerge, right? At that time, it's like, okay, Stacy, we need to set an intention around this gap in order for you to achieve this abundance in success and expansion and love and all that. Like, what are you going to do to create that? And so now my intention is all about being connected to my highest self so that I can allow what is to come through me to happen easily. right? So I have to shift that intention. Right now, I'll be honest, guys, I'm toggling between allowing as my one word. I don't usually use a word, I usually use a phrase, but I'm toggling between allowing and connected. Because for me, it's all about being connected to my highest self, being connected to my purpose, being connected to my intention, and really stepping into that knowing that everything is always working out for me, and that somehow the universe, I saw somebody put here on LinkedIn that the universe will conspire in your favor if your intentions are clear. Yes, that's from Carrie Ann, right? So that's what I'm leaning into more, and letting go of the control, letting go of the need to belong, the need to be right, the need to be popular, the need to have 10,000 followers, all those needs that we attach to our intention that don't serve us. Okay? So as you are going through this planner, this success planner, and you're thinking about the intention that you're setting for yourself, you want to step fully into knowing that it doesn't have to be a rah-rah, sis boom bar intention. It doesn't have to look like something spectacular. It could really be surrender. Yeah. So acceptance. Let go and let God. Somebody just dropped that in the chat on LinkedIn. Yes, right? And so as you are thinking through, guys, the actual workbook walks you through the process of creating an intention. And you can do this at any point in the year. Like literally, sometimes I set intentions for meetings. Like if I know I have a big presentation coming up or some kind of picture or something that is really important, I will sit down and actually work through intentioning for that process. So the workbook, as I said, will actually guide you through intention setting. And the next piece, guys, after you're done set the intention now, right? When you're really trying to now accelerate towards success, the next piece is the thing that blew up for me in 2022. When I tell you, saying, guys, I think I considered myself a pretty good achiever before 2022. But you see, this past year, I don't know, something took a hold of me. And let me tell you, I think I know it. I think I know what it is. Feeling. The feeling is the secret. And it may not be such a secret to you guys, right? But I don't think you really pay attention when you hear people talk about, you want to make sure that your energy is lined up with what you're setting for your goals or your intention. 2022 for me was all about understanding the concept of the feeling being the secret. And as you're going into your goal setting, when you're looking at what does success look like for me, right? What am I going to do to create this epic success that I want for 2023? You really want to look at, how do I want to feel when I have achieved this thing? Many times we think about our goals as over there. And so it is, I want to buy a new house, right? Or I want to be in a new relationship, or I want a new job. I want a promotion, right? And so you set that target. I am director of whatever. You may even put your I am statements in there. Okay. Hi, Michelle. I have another person joining. Hi, Happy New Year to you. You have this kind of thinking around, okay, I am X. So because I am is big now, everybody knows that we need to say I am in order for it to come into the present moment, etc. Right? But you could you could have it on a vision board. If you do not connect the way it feels to be in that position to your current moment, it's going to be a minute before you're able to actualize the thing that you're working towards. And when I say a minute, meaning is either you're going to stress yourself out, making it happen, like putting that square peg in the round hole, which I was very good at. I know many of us are very good at making stuff happen. No, I'm talking about this space of allowing things to come to you because you have now figured out that I am going to think about my goal from achieving the goal, not think about the goal itself. Let me say that again. You are going to think about achieving the goal from the goal itself, not achieving the goal when you think about the goal. Here is an example. Okay, I am seeking to become a business owner. Oh, better one. As a business owner, this past year, I launched an event, right? It's a part of my new product line called Fempowered, which is focused on women in leadership, whether you're in corporate leadership or entrepreneurial leadership, it doesn't matter. And we focus on three primary things. We focus on owning your power, optimizing your executive presence, and building mental resilience, right? That last piece about mental resilience is very important because all of us are overwhelmed and burnt out and going crazy, okay? So power, presence, resilience. Those are the three pillars, the three primary pillars of Fempowered. And there's coaching and there's events, etc., all attached to it, right? So I came up with this idea of Fempowered and really wanting to blow it out of the water. And initially, I was like, okay, this has to be an in-person event because if I do it online again, I'm so tired of being online. And at the time, lots of persons were having in-person. I said, you know what? I'm going to just go out there. I'm just going to do it, right? And I have been reading some books, some new books that have been teaching me about connecting how I feel to the experience of what I'm creating. All right. And I did a visualization session. Now, I had a very small team. I had one contracted marketing person and then my momager. Those of you who follow me know I started working with my mom this year. And we did a visualization and goal setting session. So your goal setting, guys, doesn't have to just happen at the beginning of the year for the entire period. And you know this because you'll come up with ideas during the year and you'll set goals and targets for them, right? You don't want to skip over the nice part of the goal setting, even when it's during the course of the year. So I sat down with them and I said, guys, we are going to do this visualization work, okay? But we're going to visualize it from the experience. And so what I had us do was I had us do some breathing exercises to get centered, okay? And then I said, we are at the event. I had us imagine ourselves at the event, right? And I asked questions to guide them through this visualization process as though they were at the event. So you know how sometimes you'll do visualization and you're thinking about a day in my life 5 years from now, and you write it down, you write down all the things and it feels nice. No, this is distinctly different because you are experiencing the actual thing happening. You're listening to the comments people are making. You're asking yourself, what are people saying about what's happening? What are they doing? We have food at our brunches. What does the food smell like? What does it taste like? What are the waiters saying? Literally, you are immersing yourself in the visualization as though you are having the experience. Now, when you come out of the visualization, you're not just going to write about the experience. You're also going to write about the feeling of the experience, right? And there's something magical that happens when you actually put down what it felt like to be in this thing that you are dreaming up, because it makes it much more realistic. It's literally like you have transported yourself into this dream that you have created. Right? And after we did that and we wrote down all the things, not only did I get some additional ideas for what the experience was going to be like when it unfolded, but can I just tell you, the very first experience of the brunch, my mom and my marketing contractor person, right, literally came up to me and they were like, oh my gosh, I'm changing how I do visualization. I was literally hearing people saying exactly what we visualized. I saw things that were happening just as I saw them in the... No, between actually doing the visualization exercise and executing the event, there were moments where I would have to go back in. I would have to go back in to read over the goals and go back into experiencing like it's happening. And it's the same way when you are at work and you have this major project, right? Don't think about launching the project or finishing the project. Think about what your boss or your board of directors is going to say to you. Start to hear the words of them congratulating you on this amazing delivery that you have done, right? If you are thinking about wealth, don't just think about don't just put visualize the money in your bank account. Like I actually do that. Like I take a picture, I take a screenshot of my bank account, and then I superimpose the actual money I want in the account. If you're not doing that, then you need to do that as well, right? I take a screenshot and then I put the actual money that I want over the money that's in there, right? Because it's always more. I want more. It's okay. And then I print that out and I'll put it on my vision board so I get to look at it, right? But I don't just stop there. I imagine what it's like to see the money. What is that feeling like? And sometimes I have to go back to a time where I may have had a windfall of money or I got a bonus and what that felt like, to borrow that feeling if you can't imagine yourself seeing, a significant amount of money, right? Maybe it is that you're going to pitch to a potential investor for your business, okay? Imagine what it would be like hearing somebody congratulate you like a week later. Oh, I hear that, you got funding for so-and-so. You have to kind of fast move beyond the path, even though you're going to end up using a path, right? And in some ways putting together the path, but you really have to now start to think about it as though it has already happened. And when you do that and now set your goals based on having done that, it makes a completely different process getting there, your ability to deal with the stressful situations that come along. Because when you're under stress, when you're feeling stressed out and anxious and overwhelmed, it's usually because things are coming at you as you move towards your dream, right? And the whole point of knowing what it feels like is so that you can go back to that feeling. You can go take a nap and tune into what that actually feels like, right? That in and of itself will eliminate, alleviate, take down, decrease your stress levels. Okay? So again, guys, in the workbook that you'll be able to download, I have that actual process all written out. And then I encourage you to not just think long-term like your 5-year, but to bring it forward, bring it into the 12 months, bring it into the 6-month view. And then when you start to now put goals, after you have the feeling and other things, you put in the goals. You want them to be tangible. You don't want them to be weak goals that don't seem like they're achievable, right? You want them to feel like they're achievable because you actually have the SMART. You actually have, they're either measurable or it's very clear that you've achieved them, right? Sometimes we want to give ourselves a little wiggle room. Okay. So you should be able to either clearly say, yes, I did this, or no, I didn't do this. And it's either yes or no, or it's yes with a certain level of measurement, or a certain percentage of certainty. But you definitely want to get it down in a way that it's tangible and you can feel it and you can feel yourself being pulled towards it. All right. Now, the last piece of insight that I'm going to share with you as you prepare for an epic, I'm going to say that 2023 is going to be so epic, right? When you are preparing yourself for 2023, what is going to really optimize the process that I just talked about with the feeling is the secret and all of that? What you want to recognize is the process doesn't end at the visualization and the goal setting, because that may take you 4 hours if you're doing the shortest amount of time, or it may take you several days. Like me, I like to have, when I'm doing like the big goal setting, I like to have a few days where I'm disconnected and I'm not, interacting with work and whatever else. Okay. So when it is that you are done with that part, you now need to put this into a routine. Okay. And the routines are important. I call it routines or rituals, whichever way. They're important in order for you to accelerate success. So, guys, it's not that you're not going to be able to achieve the things you want, right? Because from the mere fact that you're even tuning into this, your goal setters, your go getters, you're like persons who want to create better lives. You want to find better ways to enhance how you are living, who you are being, who you are becoming. It's not that you're not going to achieve things. It's just that I believe that we can accelerate that achievement. I believe we can quantum leap that success. I believe that we can manifest things in a speed that we didn't even know we could before. And the only reason I'm sharing it this way, guys, and this passionately, is because 2022, my whole head just blew off, like with the way that I was shifting into a more powerful version of myself. Me even cut off my hair. Like, things happening when a woman cuts her hair off, right? So as I was stepping into this, okay, I am becoming this person, and I believe and I know and I trust that this is possible for myself. I realized that I was a bit lazy when it came to like reviewing my goals and making sure that I was on track. And that's tricky, because I'm a strategist. Like, that's literally what I do. I go in and I support people in bringing their visions to life and putting a plan together, and then I help them track. Right? I do quarterly check-ins. I do meetings with CEOs, all of those things. And I was very good at it for other people. But then I found that I would be like leaving my goals for a year and then don't go back and look at them. And, so every year I've gotten better. Maybe it'll be a 3 months that will pass, or, maybe 1 week I do it and the next week I do it and then I don't do it for 2 months. But what I recognize is that the better I am at my rituals, my success rituals, the faster the things that I'm trying to achieve come to me. And when I say come to me, I mean like literally, like I don't necessarily have to be out there sweating, trying to figure it out. So much so that when things don't feel like they have a certain ease to them, I just wait. I just hold off and let it go. Please do not mistake when I say ease to replace effort. No, I still have moments where I'm like burning the midnight oil, or I'm pulling out all the stops and have crazy days going from place to place, etc. The distinction, though, is that I'm not doing it and feeling an extraordinary amount of stress and pressure, right? I'm not losing hair over it, right? I'm only losing sleep because I'm up working, not because I can't sleep, right? So there's a distinction between when you are accelerating in a way that is backed by intention and energy versus when you are accelerating from a place of force. When you are doing your rituals, what you are putting in place is the ability for you to flow and for things to flow to you. So you're creating this energetic cycle that allows you to achieve things without the stress, or with less stress, right? When you are in force, and you can't be in both flow and force. When you are in force, you are pushing, you are trying, you are feeling stressed out. You'll actually use the words, I feel stressed, I'm tired. Oh God, I'm so overwhelmed. It's too much things. You say it, you actually articulate what you're feeling. And if you don't articulate it, like some of us women especially, and men in particular don't actually know how to talk about stress when they're having stress feelings. A lot of men feel they have to tough it out, right? But when we are under stress, sometimes we don't talk about it. We want to keep it together because we're strong and we have to hold it together. That is even worse, because then your body is what keeps the score, right? I was talking to a really close friend of mine earlier this week because I have a herniated disc in my neck that evolved from not working in my zone of genius way, in flow, right? Backed by intention. And I know when I am putting unnecessary stress on my body. I know it. I can feel it. My body is telling me, your body keeps the score. My body is telling me, hey, you're tired. Up here, so your neck and your shoulder and everything tight and your back. And all the things, right? So when you are in force, you know it because you're articulating it, your body's saying it to you, you're having these experiences that are validating that you are not at ease, right? Okay. And so when you have these success rituals, it helps you to introduce more ease into your efforting. Somebody write that down. It helps you, your daily success rituals help you to introduce more ease into your efforting. Because we're all about the success game, guys. We all want to make it, we all want to create an amazing life and have these amazing experiences. I'm no different, right? And no matter how zenned out I get, I'm still going to want to get on that plane and go travel somewhere exotic with my love partner. Yes, I'm going to want to go stay in the nice hotel that's overlooking water and all these things in the bungalows and all the rest, and it takes money to do that, right? Okay. I'm going to want to build businesses, and I'm going to want to hire people so I can make more stuff for you guys to get impact from. And all of those things take wealth. So I am on a path. I'm on a success path, and I'm clear that I no longer buy into this thinking that success has to equal stress, or it's just a part of the job. When you're a workaholic and you have to work hard and you have to just, the stress just comes with it. It's normal. It's natural. There are so many devices and things now you're going to be always on. I don't buy into that anymore. And I'm actively working with my success rituals, my daily success rituals, to enable my brain to reprogram itself out of that thinking. And this is where intention comes in, because if I have an intention of allowing and ease, right, then what am I going to be doing over here working myself to the ground and I can't function because my neck crick, right, because of stress. Okay? So at the end of the workbook, right, at the end of the workbook, there is a section that talks about daily success rituals. And I actually call them rituals offering accelerated results, or your ROAR, right? So what is your ROAR? How I come up with that now, I just imagine myself like this lion waking up in the morning, lioness waking up in the morning, and I'm like, I yawning and I'm roaring and getting ready to start my day. And I'm thinking about, well, what are the routines that I'm going to be now putting in place to help me accelerate my success results? And it doesn't look anything like doing a whole bunch of run up and down. No, my routines that I have taken on every day now include meditation, which I've been talking about for a while. But meditation several times a day now, like it's that serious, right? But really creating some time for stillness, just stillness, no movement, no noise, no distraction, no Netflix, no social media, no nothing. Just 5 to 20 minutes of peace, where I'm not praying for anything or asking for anything. I'm just receiving. And sometimes that receiving can just be stillness, right? And of course, you have lots of apps now that give you access to different types of meditation, whether you want to have it guided or just music. So meditation is one of mine. Another one that I'm going to be doubling down on this year is breathing. So I know you might think, but isn't meditation and breathing in the same category? Well, let me separate it for you. There are some breathing exercises that you can do that are actually geared towards getting you in flow. So they are specific types of breathing that will help your brain to get more oxygen, the oxygen that it needs to focus. So you know how sometimes you're going through your day and you have like a million things to do, and then your mind is just ping pong ball? If you stop and do a breath for flow exercise, it's a game changer. It literally supports you with getting back to center, getting back to focus. So I highly recommend that. And of course, apps like Insight Timer, they have actual breath meditations where it's just breathing and it guides you through the different breaths, when to hold your breath, all the different things, right? 2 types of journaling are a part of my routine now. I do gratitude journaling as well as regular reflection journaling. I will admit that the regular reflection journaling doesn't necessarily happen every day, But the gratitude journaling does happen every day, as much as possible, as much as I can remember it. And this is where I just literally try to jot down, 5 things I'm grateful for. What I also have is a gratitude journal, and it gives you prompts. But I don't even need the prompts. I can literally just like, oh my gosh, what am I grateful for today? And sometimes it's just being alive. It's just breath. It's just being able to have opportunities. It's being able to have this audience that I can do lives with. Like those type of things really give me life. And when you're in a space of gratitude, I say this to you guys all the time, it's very difficult for you to have fear and doubt at the same time as gratitude. I use my grandma example. When I think about how grateful I am that I still have my grandma with me, I just think about her, and it just makes me feel good inside. I'm not into the stress about it. No. Right. And so I can use that energy to now go into my day or to close out my day. Right. And then the last thing that is definitely now a part of my daily routine is reviewing my goals. So intention setting is something that has always been in my space. And I usually memorize my intentions. And so I can just pull on it. Like, what am I intending? I can just pull on the intention. But when it came to my goals, I was not consistently looking at the vision that I'm being pulled towards. And even the other day when I went and did when I went off to do the life design retreat with my partner, I took one of the old, I think it was 2019, one of the old journals that we had actually written some of the things that we wanted to achieve. And when I went back into the thing and I was like, oh, we did that, we did that, we did that, we did that. And I was just checking off, and I was like, look at yourself and you're so worthless. If you had actually spent the time going back through this over the period of the 3 years or the 2 years that have passed, you would have realized how much you've grown and how much you've created. And more importantly, you would have even seen how you could escape some of the suffering that you took on. Because I can tell you categorically, guys, one of the things that helps you with achieving goals is writing down what I call systems, the system that you're going to use to achieve it. So if you're saying 1 million US net worth by the end of 2023, then a system that you have to put in place, which is one I have put in place, is hire a wealth coach. Right? Sometimes you put down things you want to achieve and you don't even connect any kind of dot to a system that you're going to have to think through in order to, you're not prescribing the how, you're just thinking through the systems that you'll need to make sure are available to you. Or even if you haven't figured out how you're going to get them, you know that this has to help me along my journey. Okay. And so as I'm looking through this last 3 years and I'm seeing, oh my gosh, look at how many things we achieved, whether individually or together as a couple, I realized some of the areas where the systems that we had written down, we did not observe the systems. And let me tell you, that's where we had the most suffering, is where the systems fell through the cracks. Okay. So guys, end to end, I feel I have shared with you the path that you guys will need to take in order to really accelerate success without stress this year. Now, if you have any questions, I'm going to open up for Q&A now, as I make sure that I post the link for the workbook. Again, so if you have any questions, just please feel free to drop your questions in the chat as we get ready to close out. But here's the thing. I am giving you this workbook. Right? It's going to be free for the month of January, and you're going to see me promoting it because I just want everybody to have this success. I just think it's just available. I think it's available, and I don't see any reason why you shouldn't have it. Right? Also, remember the Epic Intention cards. Our intention for today was I am well intentioned. My intention for my podcast for this year is I am limitless, because I'm really looking to expand the Balanced Lady Boss reach and touch a lot more women, right? So I'm making this available to you so that you can step more powerfully into who you are becoming in 2023. And I'm not trying to say, guys, that you're not going to experience challenges along the way. As a matter of fact, I am now embracing with some suffering. It's not like I'm just like, yay, challenges. Yes, I'm excited. No, that's not what's happening. But when I experience the challenges that come along the way now, I recognize that it's really for my growth. It's really to help me with where I am progressing to. That's what the challenge is there for. And so I am clear that no matter what it is that's happening in my life, I know and I trust that there is going to be the opportunity for me to meet and greet that girl who set the intention. Okay, so I have a question here from Sam. How can I get the workbook? Okay, if you're on Instagram, you just go to my link tree. It's the link in bio. So the link that's in the bio, you just go there, and it's only 3 buttons that I have up now. One of those buttons is download 2023 Success Planner. Okay, and then you just drop your email and your name, and it gets emailed right to you. Also, if you have any problems, you can feel free to DM me if you're on Instagram. If you're on LinkedIn or YouTube, which I'm now live in both places, I have posted the link in the comments for now. But when we wrap up the live, I will also be sharing the link on my platform directly. So in the description on YouTube, the link will be there. And on LinkedIn, same thing. The link will be there. Don't worry, guys. I got you. Okay. I want you to have this workbook. I want to hear the reports in the middle of the year. How, oh my gosh, something I thought I couldn't do till 2025. I'm able to do it now, Stacy. I want the reports. Okay. So since there are no other questions at this time, let me just double check YouTube to see if anybody has questions over there. Okay, no questions on YouTube. LinkedIn. Okay, I hear Narda. I am sharing this with my sisterpreneurs. Mindset and approach is everything. Yes, Narda, absolutely. Chakwema, that's a great gift. Thank you so much. I agree. I think it is a great gift. Thank you so much for this, Stacy. This was exactly what I needed, and you were on point. Thank you, Raquel. Excellent. All right, guys. So thank you very much, Sam. So I'm gonna tune out now. I'm gonna end this live, and I really do wish you all an amazing 2023. Like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the things that we're going to create now that we are literally living into our intention, and you have the tools that you need in order to do that. You have the tools you need in order to do it. So I'm very excited. I have another comment here from Carrie-Ann. I'm living the life that I visualized in 2013. I'll be using your tools to set the vision for the next 10 years. Thanks for being obedient to that burning desire to help others. Yes, Coach Carrie, let me tell you, that obedience factor, whoo, big deal. Okay, guys, lots of love and positive vibrations for 2023 and beyond. More to come from me this year. Take care and happy intentioning. All right, take care, everybody. Bye.